Picture this, you're in school taking a test that you know you're gonna fail. Now imagine being in that moment, but you had superpowers. And more specifically, the power to make people pee their pants on command. Boom! You make the teacher pee her pants, she runs out of the room, you look up
It's a very odd power.
all the answers and ace the test. That is why having superpowers would be awesome. But what they don't tell you about superpowers is that while having them sounds amazing, there are a lot of reasons why they would suck. Growing up, everyone wanted superpowers like flying, mind reading, super strength. So I'm gonna tell you situations I've been in where these superpowers would have saved me, but also why these powers aren't as amazing as they seem. And I'm also gonna tell you some specific powers I wish I had that I guarantee you've never heard of. But before that,
I probably have.
we gotta address what everyone was thinking when they clicked on this video. When someone asks you what superpower you would want, the number one answer is always the ability to talk to women. Mind reading. The answer is mind reading. And I understand that.
See, my dream superpower is either reality warping, because like with that you can literally do whatever you want. And then there was this one that was really good, but I forgot what it was called. It's something not a lot of people say either. Not a lot of people say reality warping. Usually you'll hear like super speed, super strength, flight, invisibility. I can name all the reasons those wouldn't work. But reality warping, and then there was another one that was like way more OP than that, but I can't remember what it was called.
Peel. You walk into a room, you know exactly what everyone thinks of you, so you can never get lied to again. Sounds incredible, but that's because you're thinking about it wrong. Here's what you're picturing. You go into a party, some girl smiles at you, and you hear her think,
"Wow, he's so cool. I hope he talks to me."
So you go up and talk to her. No more playing this game wondering if people like you or not. But really, that's not what's gonna happen. What's actually gonna happen is you walk into that.
That's true, bro. Like imagine you have mind reading and you can't control it. So then every time you go somewhere and someone's like talking shit about you or something like that, then you're always hearing that.
Room, and within 30 seconds, you hear 6 different people thinking things like,
"Damn, bro looks chopped today. Why does he smell like that?"
and then when you actually go up to talk to someone, you're gonna realize that they're thinking,
"Please just let this conversation end already."
I know this for a fact because of what happened.
Unless you can control it. If you could control it, it wouldn't be that bad.
Happened to me at lunch one time in 10th grade. There was this girl, I won't say her name, but I will spell it backwards for you. A-N-A, and I had been convinced for weeks that she liked me. My friends were convinced. The evidence was there. She would laugh at everything I said. She always sat near me. She texted me first. It had all the classic signs. So
Bro, imagine a girl has all the signs that she likes you, and then you tell her that you like her, and then she just ghosts you.
This entire narrative in my head where she definitely liked me and I was just waiting for the right moment to ask her out. But one day, I'm sitting across from her at lunch and she's smiling and I'm in the middle of telling a story. I'm thinking to myself, bro, I gotta make my move on her soon. Like, she obviously likes me. But while I'm talking, I notice she keeps glancing off to the side every few seconds. Real quick. At first I thought she might just be having a very minor seizure, so I just ignored it. But then I realized what was actually happening. Because my friend Jake got up and went to the bathroom. And the moment that happened, Anna looked completely uninterested in what I was saying now. All of a sudden, she didn't care at all.
Oh, so she was only, okay.
About me explaining to her why LeBron could solve world peace. Now, I didn't figure it out in that moment, but after a couple months, I found out she never even liked me. She liked my friend Jake. But you may ask, well, then why did she
actually, I can't be talking.
So interested in me. Well, Jake was my best friend, so she was using me as a way to get Jake's attention.
Yeah.
Did it work? No, because me and Jake are both too dumb to understand context clues. But the whole point of me saying this is that if I had the ability to read minds in that moment, it would have been both good and bad. Good because I probably would have found out a lot sooner that she wasn't interested in me and saved the heartbreak, but bad because every time she talked to me in class or smiled at me, instead of thinking she really liked me, I would have heard what she was really thinking.
Yeah, but then once you learn the first time that she doesn't like you, you wouldn't think that she likes you anymore, therefore you'd have no issue with it.
Which was probably something like,
"If this guy wasn't Jake's friend, I would get a restraining order against him."
And that's just one
now that would be pretty
person.
bad.
Mind reading means you're hearing everyone, constantly, all the time. You're at a family dinner and your uncle is thinking about something I probably can't even say on this video or else it would get taken down. You gotta listen to it. You're talking to your best friend and he's thinking, well, To be honest, there's probably nothing going on inside your best friend's head, so you might be good in that scenario. But you never get to have a real conversation again because you already know what everyone's thinking, and people just naturally tend to think more negative. So you would definitely hear a lot more mean things about you than nice. So mind reading sounds like a cheat code, but in reality, you're just gonna get your feelings hurt way faster. But funny enough, I actually do have this ability. Like, I can read your mind right now. Watch.
Really?
Think about something right now, and I'll guess it. Are you ready? You're thinking about LeBron in a maid outfit.
I just realized.
No?
Wait,
okay.
what?
Okay, maybe that was just me. But anyways, I don't want to make it sound like all superpowers are bad. There are some specific ones I've always wanted that I guarantee you've never heard of that would be awesome to have. The first one I had in mind would give me 1,000,000 times more aura in my life. The ability to have my very own theme music play every time I enter a room. Imagine walking
I've heard of that, but I wasn't thinking about it.
into school on the first day. Everyone's trying to make the best impression possible. They've got their hair done, best outfit on, but still, none of that can compete with what happens when you walk through that front door. Everyone's staring at you as you're just oozing aura out of your pores, and you're just walking to your locker like this is completely.
Every single room you walk in is gonna do that. The bathroom, your bedroom, and then you're constantly gonna hear that. I mean, obviously it's gonna end, but then once you, or like if I left my room, it would happen because technically there's another room outside of my room.
Normal, because for you, it is. Now, the only sticky part about this power is making sure you can control when it does and doesn't go off. Because if it just always goes off whenever you walk into a room, that would not be good. Imagine you pull up to your grandma's funeral and this just starts bumping in the
You go
background
to a funeral and then fucking starts playing.
while 50 people with tears in their eyes slowly turn to look at you. But honestly, even if I couldn't control when it goes off, it's still worth it. It's just too tough to pass up on. Now with this power, everyone knows when you arrive. But what about having a power that does the opposite? Because another super popular answer when you ask someone what power they would want is invisibility. And I'll be honest, if this is
See, this wouldn't work because in order for you to be able to see, light has to go into your eyes and then bounce off the back of these things or whatever. And if you're invisible, light's gonna go right through your eyes and then you're not gonna be able to see. See? That's why that wouldn't work.
the number one power you would want, I can't trust you. Now, most people's reasons for saying this is imagine all the places you could sneak into. Free concerts all the time. Oh, the pyramids are off limits to go to? Not for you. Sure, if that's what you would actually use invisibility for, that sounds pretty dope. But let's be real, most of the people who say they would choose invisibility are saying it because they want to be a creep.
Yeah. Yeah. Either that or they just want to rob banks.
I know there's some freaky people out there that would absolutely abuse this power. My friends and I were debating what the best power would be one time, and one of
Reality
our friends...
warping, bro. If I could think of the other one I was talking about, it probably would go over reality warping, but I can't, so I'm going to say reality warping. But that is literally the best thing because you could change anything you want into anything, bro. Like, I could make this root beer can $1 billion if I wanted to with that power. Like, it's insane.
went.
I want to be invisible.
Then when we were like,
Oh, well, where would you go if you were invisible?
he just went,
Not only that, with the reality warping, bro, it's so OP you could literally give yourself other powers. Because you can alter your reality. You can alter other people's realities. You can make someone go insane.
didn't even say a single word. That laugh said way more than anything he could have actually said would have. The problem with
Wait, no, you couldn't. You couldn't give yourself other powers. I was thinking about that. You're altering reality, but you're not like actually changing. I don't even.
invisibility is that nobody thinks it through all the way. But because every girl I interact with says I seem slightly autistic, I have thought this through. So let me explain. If you go invisible, your body turns invisible, not your clothes. So the second you're invisible,
That too, bro. Like you'd have to be completely naked in order to become invisible, which I don't think. Because like imagine it just shuts off. You're in the middle of a classroom or a public place, and then you're naked. That wouldn't be good.
you're just a floating outfit standing in the middle of the room. You're not invisible, you're just floating clothes. The only way to counter this is to just get completely naked every time you want to use this power. So this means invisibility is really just a complicated way to become a nudist. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be walking around butt naked just to get free front row seats at a World Cup match. Well, actually, I mean, but let's say you figure out how to become invisible without everyone seeing your clothes. We'd still have a big problem. Because what happens when you sneeze? Nobody can see you, but that doesn't mean they can't hear you. So bang!
Okay, if I sneeze, they can't hear me, or they can hear me, but they still can't see me, so I don't see the issue. They'll just think someone else did it. But then everyone in that room is questioning who did it, but nobody's gonna know who did it technically. So then it's just gonna be moved on. I don't really think.
Damn, you get caught for being
Besides, most of the time when you're in a classroom and you like sneeze or something, nobody even pays attention. They just keep doing their own thing.
the person that can turn invisible. They turn you into the government, then do tests on your body for the rest of your life, and you never get to see the light of day ever again. I'm using sneezing as a scenario that could mess this power up because one time my friends and I were going to a concert, and this concert was impossible to get tickets for. I don't know how we got them, but unfortunately, one of my friends didn't get a ticket, and he really wanted to go. So we came up with a plan. Now this friend was pretty short.
There's no way, bro. They were in the concert and he sneezed, and they found out he didn't pay to get in.
So the idea was to buy a baby stroller and put him in it, hoping the security would think we had just had a sleeping baby. I saw someone do it in a YouTube video, so that's where we thought of it. I know it sounds wild, but if you
wait, did he sneeze when he was in the stroller? You're telling me you couldn't hold it, bro?
There, you would see just how real it actually looked. We thought it was genuinely gonna work, but when we got to the front gate, as we're about to scan our tickets, the baby in our stroller sneezes. And it
You think it's a baby, you just hear a grown man sneeze.
was not a cute little baby sneeze. No, it was full on, achoo! So the security said,
"Hey, we need to take a look at your baby that just screamed like a 40-year-old man."
and when they did, they saw a 180-month-old person instead of a 6-month-old. We all got kicked out after that. So moral of the story, sneezing or any noises would ruin
But
any
still, bro, you're
chance
invisible. No one's gonna see you.
of invisibility being useful. But I've come up with a power that quite literally has 0 downsides.
I bet I can name
If you had this power, it would do nothing but make your life better. I dare you to try finding something negative about the power to duplicate socks.
Damn. Damn, he really got me. To find something better. Yeah, no, I can't. I'm.
I know how that sounds. You can pick any power in the world and you choose socks? Before you assume, no, this has nothing to do with liking feet, okay? But the reason this power is so sick is because whenever your laundry gets done, what happens? You always lose a sock, somehow. I don't know where it goes, but it literally feels like whenever my laundry is finished, I only have one of each sock, never a matching one. It's not like I can just go buy more because no matter what, one of them always disappears. So imagine if you could duplicate socks, and then all of a sudden, you never have this problem again. If you only have one sock, that's fine. Snap! Now you got 2. So this might just be the best power ever invented. Even better than teleportation. Don't get me wrong, teleportation could be awesome to have, so I'm not gonna trash on it, but boy oh boy.
There was this really long video I watched about how teleportation could work, and I wish I could remember it because it was low-key valid. And I genuinely believe teleportation could work because of it. Like, if it was possible. Obviously, it's not possible, but the entire video was about if it was possible, this is how it would work.
Having this power go horrifically wrong. The main thing that nobody considers with teleportation is how dangerous it would be to have. This would genuinely be super dangerous for you and anyone around you. Because if you're teleporting by thinking of a location, how do you know someone's not in that exact location? I want to teleport to Times Square, so I do. But then bam, I'm inside of a
Yeah,
home.
but why would you teleport to literally one of the most populated places in the country? Why? Like, why would you do that? That's honestly just that's a skill issue. That's just that's your fault.
Let's do. Wait. That's okay. That's not what I meant. I meant like, you know, it's probably better if I just don't explain it. Actually, you never know what's waiting for you on the other side of that teleportation, though. There is literally no safe place to actually teleport if you think about it. Even if you try going.
Yeah, you try going to the bathroom maybe, and there's someone just sitting in the toilet.
To the most remote place, a grass field that goes on for miles and miles with no people around. Still, you might end up inside a cow. Why did I not learn from the first time saying that sentence? But you don't even realize teleportation can be this dangerous because whenever you see it in the movies, they're always executing it perfectly. But this is real life where mistakes happen, and also teleportation isn't real. So I guess this isn't real life. I don't even know why I'm making this video in the first place. Okay, you know what? Actually, video is canceled. Let's play the outro.
Already? Oh, I was about to say.
Just kidding. The video's not over yet. I gotta pay my bills somehow, so we're gonna keep going. Next power up, let me cook with this one. The ability to untangle headphones by the snap of a finger. Because similar to the sock problem, for some reason, you could perfectly
Wireless headphones. I feel like 90% of the population has wireless headphones now, if you have headphones.
put a pair of headphones on the ground in a straight line, but when you blink, they will
actually,
be
no, I do know what he means, because I use wired headphones for snowboarding, and oh my god. They're a pain to untangle sometimes, because I don't use them unless I'm snowboarding, so they're in like their case 90% of the year, and then when I take them out, they're tangled like that, and it's not fun.
completely tangled up.
But it's not that bad though, also as well. So.
To no return. No one knows how it happens, but it does. It's just unpreventable. There are knots in there that defy science, and trying to untangle them, well, good luck. You have a better chance of me finding a girlfriend. Why do I keep making these jokes every time? One time I was on a long car ride going from California to Vegas, and I brought headphones with me to listen to music. They were super tangled, but I figured I would just untangle them once we got on the road and all would be okay. But then we started driving, and literally for the whole drive, which was 4 hours, I was attempting to untangle them and I couldn't figure it out. Now you may think this power only would have been useful 5 years ago because everyone has AirPods now. And to that I say, actually, I didn't think about that part. I guess this power would be useless now. Why did I not think about that before making this part of the video? I haven't even used wired headphones myself in like 3 years. Luckily, some powers are timeless though, like super speed. Super speed is the power that sounds the coolest when you're young because that's one of the only things that...
Yeah. I don't remember why super speed wouldn't work. I do know though that you'd literally, if you were using it, you'd see everything in slow motion constantly. So like to everyone else it's fast, but then to everyone else it's fast, but you're doing everything in slow motion. That would be a pain in the ass.
That matters when you're a kid. Being the fastest person in school. It basically decided your popularity there. The fastest kid at school was untouchable. So naturally, everyone wants to be fast when they're kids. But the day I realized this power would not be as great as it seems was when I was watching the show, The Boys. Because in the very first scene of the show, A-Train, who has super speed, literally runs straight through a girl and different parts of her body splatter all over the place like a piñata was just broke. Now I want to clarify, this was fake. It's not real. Just felt the need to put that in there because I can't take any more chances after my channel got hooked a couple weeks ago. But watching this was the first time where I said to myself, oh yeah, it's probably really hard to see where you're going when you're running 500 miles per hour. If I spin around like this, my motion gets blurry after 1 second. So I doubt I could see where I'm going if
It is hard to see where you're going, but I'm also pretty sure that you see everything in slow motion, which I don't know how that would work. But I don't know. That was never explained.
ran that fast. It's pretty much the same problem as teleportation, except with one more issue. Bugs. At a normal running speed...
Oh, dude, yeah, that too. You have to have something covering your face, bro, because if you're running that fast, you're gonna get bugs in your face, just like a car.
Running into a bug is annoying. At super speed, you're cooked. Just think about it this way. When you're in a car
like
and you run into a bug, it splatters all over the windshield, and it's completely unavoidable. You have no time to see the bug coming. Now imagine that happening, but to your face. Bugs splattering all over it. No matter where you want to use your super speed to get to, you're gonna need to bring some dude wipes with you just to clean yourself up. And don't you dare run with your mouth open, or else it's GG. And then there's friction. Now, did I have to Google what this word meant? Yes. But basically, clothes are not built for super speed. The friction of moving that fast would
they would burn. They'd burn.
Your clothes up to the point where they'd be burning off your body in real time. So now you've got the bugs on your face, and once again, you're butt naked. Why does every power seem to just make you butt naked? And if you don't think this is realistic, trust me, it is. Because I was doing track and field in middle school one year, and it was the biggest race. The whole school was watching, because we had this track and field day once a year. So I was locked in, but I'm racing the 400-meter race. And right when the start sound goes off, I sprint the first 100 meters like I have something to prove. I'm going full speed, but I'm starting to feel something behind me. It was almost as if someone was pulling on the back of my shorts. I ignored it in the moment because I still had a chance to finish the race. But once I finished, and lost, I noticed a lot more people looking at me than the person who actually won the race. And I quickly realized it wasn't because of my dazzling looks. No, it was my shorts. What was wrong with my shorts? The back of them ripped. They were already slightly ripped when I started the race, but the speed of running in them made them almost rip off entirely. You could see all my underwear. That's something you don't come back from as a kid in middle school. So if I ever attempted to run while having super speed, it would get freaky real quick, and not in a good way. But speaking of freaky, can you imagine how cool it would be to have the ability to talk to animals?
That would be sick. I wish I could do that.
Everybody has looked at their pet at least once in their life and thought,
how awesome would it be if I could just know what they're thinking right now?
Dogs would be the best case scenario. You'd ask your dog what he wants, and he'd say something like,
to bite your limbs off. Or maybe he'd ask for a treat.
So dogs would be amazing to talk with, because you know that your dog loves you. They'd just be glazing you all day. But cats, that would be the last animal I'd want to speak to. You'd finally get to understand what they're thinking, and it would just be pure judgment. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure all cats hate humans. The relationship we humans have with mosquitoes videos is what cats probably think of us. You don't even need to give humans the ability to understand cats to know they don't like us. Have you ever actually tried petting a cat? I don't know about you, but every time I try laying a finger on my cat, he swats at me with his claws, genuinely trying to draw blood. I saw a video one time saying that if you passed away in your house and your cat was there, after a few
It's the same with dogs, though. Dogs also eat humans after they die, and so will cats.
days, it would just start eating your body. So I don't think I would want to talk to cats, and I'm saying this as someone who loves my cat. The best animals to talk to would be the wild ones, though. Imagine you're in the wilderness and you see a bear. Normally, you're cooked. You just became dinner. But in this scenario, you can say,
I feel bad because I hunt, and if I could like talk to animals and I like shot a deer and it's like begging me, bro, I'd be like, like I would be able to do it, bro.
Man, I'm cooking steaks back
I
at the
feel like that's
camp.
the only downside with that, and like maybe fishing too. But usually I don't keep the fish when I fish. I usually let them go. But
Campground, those will taste a lot better than I would with all this red 40 in my body. Why don't we go back together and I'll make you a ribeye?
and the bear goes,
You know what? Steak does sound good.
but then he probably eats you anyways. The only thing I'm terrified of is if you give this power to the wrong person out there. Cause I just know there would be someone out there who, if they had the chance, would use this power to rizz up the animals. Why are you putting an arrow at me, editor? You're fired again, buddy. Pack your bags. Now I'm gonna make a very hot take. Out of every single power I have mentioned and will mention in this video, super strength would by far be the most overrated.
first of all, technically a human could lift a car, but our body literally limits us not to, because if we could, our muscles would tear apart. That's why super strength wouldn't work. Because if you had super strength, your muscles would literally rip apart. And you wouldn't be able to, you'd be like this. You wouldn't be able to use your arms. You wouldn't have the strength to even lift a finger. Like, that's how, technically a human can lift a car, but your body literally limits you to. That's why when we get adrenaline, we can sometimes become stronger because that limit gets raised a little bit.
Before you come saying how horrible of a take this is, just hear me out. When was the last time
But
you
I think super strength is overrated too. There's so many better powers than that.
needed to lift something that required superhuman strength?
That too.
A car? A building? A
You
boulder?
don't need
When
to
did
lift anything that... I mean, maybe you do, but like you don't also.
that come up? Because for most people, the answer is never.
Except for flexing at a gym though. Like imagine you're benching 315 with one arm. Like, come on.
Things you need to lift are boxes, groceries, your phone, your backpack. None of those require super strength. I mean, I know some of y'all's McDonald's orders out
handy for like a moving, like maybe a couch by yourself or something like that.
there would take super strength to lift, but I ain't gonna judge. Sure, super strength would
getting
make these
out of
things
bed.
slightly easier, but for how much people glaze this power, it's not adding that much to your life. With the technology we have these days, this power is basically useless. We have machines that can lift any amount of weight perfectly fine. Matter of fact, this power would have been useless even thousands of years ago too. Do you know how much those blocks on the pyramids weigh? Me neither. But somehow they were able to stack those on top of each other without having the advanced technology we have these days. Now yes, it was probably aliens who built that, but still, you get my point. What super strength would actually do is ruin the daily activities you gotta do. You go to open a door, but when you pull, it just
bro. That also, like, you try to open a door, you'd rip the handle off. Or, like, if you couldn't control it, it'd be bad.
completely breaks. No, not the door handle, the whole door itself. There's literally no door left now. You'd be buying a new one every day. If you get even slightly angry while holding your phone, you're definitely crushing it accidentally,
shake
so there's
someone's
another
hand
expense.
or
Have you ever seen the
something
Hulk
like that.
scrolling through YouTube Shorts? No, that's because he would break the phone out of rage if he was scrolling through the app and came across one of my videos. If you still don't believe this power would suck, just let me tell you about the time I was hanging out with my friend. So my friend's grandma
guy
has
has
one of those
super
old
power.
antique houses that smell kind of like death, but they had a sick pool in the backyard. So I would go over there to
I actually have ripped off my door handle, though. And I don't even have super strength. It's my garage door. I ripped off the handle because it's, like, loose. I just tried to open it and it slid right off. I was like, oh, okay.
swim with my friend. But one day I went there and my friend texted me saying, hey, we're already in the pool. Just open the front door and come through to the backyard. So I, a person with average strength at best, pulled on the front door and the handle just came off, like completely
Like, yeah,
detached.
that can
I'm
happen.
standing there with no way to get inside because the door is now just a flat surface with a hole in it. And I'm also thinking,
How can I not put the blame on myself for this?
so I panicked in a way
Just
that was
be honest. It's a door
probably
handle.
not my best option. I tried to put
Unless
the
it,
door
like, literally broke the door.
handle back. I could not put it back.
It also depends on what handle there is, because, like, sometimes they can just slide off. But if it's, like, one of those ones where you have to push down, I don't even know how you'd pull that off.
Though I also could not get into the house. So I ended up just leaving it on the ground and told my friend I had an emergency at home that I needed to go back for. My friend never brought up the door handle to me, so I don't know if they thought it just fell off by itself or they knew I did it but didn't want to embarrass me. To this day, I've been too scared to go back to that house and look his grandma in her eyes. I think she might have passed away by now, so I don't think I can do that actually. But imagine if I had super strength in that moment. I think the whole house would have genuinely fallen apart the moment I tried twisting that handle, and that is not an exaggeration. The cool
But you would have been able to get the door open.
muscles you get wouldn't even be worth it either, because you'd never be able to find any clothes that fit you or sleep on any bed again. Don't even
Why?
try giving your mama a hug either. You'll hear her ribs crack the second you put your arms around her. Now, just because you have a superpower does not mean you have to use it for good. Remember, superheroes exist, but supervillains exist too. And with the ability I'm thinking of right now, I would definitely become a villain, because I would love to have the ability to make anyone at any moment pee their pants on command. There are just so many scenarios looking
That
back
would
where
be
this
funny,
power would
yeah.
have made my day a lot better. Think about the possible uses for it. Someone is being rude to you in public. Bam! Now they have a dark stain on their pants for everyone to see. You're waiting in a really long line that you don't got time to be in. Suddenly, everyone there feels a warm liquid crawling down their leg. So they run out of that line as quick as possible to go take care of it. The reason I like this power so much is because while it is annoying, it doesn't actually hurt anybody. It will be a minor inconvenience in their day, but they'll forget about it in a week. If I'm picking one power off this entire list, it's this one. Don't overthink it. But there is one power that you see more than anything else in movies and TV shows. You will not find a show about people who have powers without seeing the ability to fly. Close your eyes and picture this. You're in the sky looking down on the whole world. There's no noise up there besides the sound of your own breath. You're at peace. And then, wham! You get shot down by a drone. Because here's the thing you gotta remember. We live in the
Yeah, like in Iron Man when they saw him flying and they didn't know what it was, so they sent jets after him. That's basically what would happen, and then you die. But I can't. Other than that, I can't find a reason body-wise why that power wouldn't work. I think there is one, but I can't remember. The only one I remember was the invisibility one, but that's because I've said it a lot.
real world, not a comic book. In this world, if you go outside and fly for the first time, within 45 seconds, there is a government response being coordinated just to take you down. This isn't like any of the powers where you can kind of hide them. Super strength, maybe you can hide it by, I don't know, just not flipping cars over. Super speed, just don't run as fast as you can. But flight, there's no hiding that one. If you ever actually want to use the ability, you will get caught. If it's not people that see
Unless you just like levitate around your house.
you
I'd
in the
do
air,
that.
it will be an air traffic controller seeing an unidentified object in the sky. So literally, there is only one way this situation could possibly go if you have this ability. You get caught by some government entity, they put you in a lab and do tests on you for the rest of your life. Maybe, if you're lucky, you will see the sun a couple more times, but it will only be because they're using you as a weapon. You don't actually ever get to be free again. The only show that depicts what would actually happen if someone saw you flying is Stranger Things. When they found out those kids had powers, they locked them up and were willing to literally tear the universe apart just to make sure they didn't escape. And plus, flying wouldn't even be as awesome as you think. I have a friend who skydives
really
all the
don't
time, which,
see
why?
what
I don't know.
flying
You'll never
is
catch
exactly.
me joining them.
Traveling
But anyways,
faster.
I've asked him before what it feels like to be skydiving. Because the closest thing I've ever been to skydiving is going on a roller coaster. And my friend told me it feels amazing, except for this one issue. What is the issue? Well, you know how when you go on a roller coaster, you get those knots in your stomach on the drops? Well, my friend said when you're skydiving, that feeling multiplies by 1,000. So the main issue he has with skydiving is that it always makes him have to poop, sometimes before he even gets to land. He said he's had multiple close calls before where he almost was dropping deuces from the sky like a bird. So unless you want to be pooping on innocent civilians, the ability to fly would stink, literally. But if you do want to poop on innocent civilians, hit me up. I might have a job for you.
What? Oh, okay. Well, that was a good video.